Texting. Hey, 12609er to the 6 to the 9. How you doing? Welcome back to an unmuted sack.
An unmuted.
What sucks most about that, and that this is I don't know which one of us did it. I think one of our kids did it because we haven't touched this damn mic except to plug it in. But there was a flashing red button on what may have been the greatest show we've ever had, and no one will ever get to see it because
we can at least always claim that.
We were muted.
No one will ever hear.
We were muted the whole damn time. I went through 3 days of hell trying to fix everything here, and it turns out this damn button was flashing red indicator. We didn't know it was muted, and we taped over two very, very, very phenomenal, glorious segments that, and you're not going to believe me because you couldn't hear it.
Mutation.
Terrible. Anyway.
But I urge you and us to not try to replicate what has been done.
No, you just got to keep going. There was nothing, what made that episode great was because it was spontaneous from the heart,
that's
original, right. And we didn't rehearse it, and we weren't trying, we weren't trying, and that's why it was. So hopefully tonight we can capture the magic, we can capture the magic again. And there's any two people most unlikely to do it, it is these two, the redoubtable Tom Izzo, the highly questionable one, RJ Miliaccio. It is Wet My Whistle Wednesday in the sack. Hey, guess what, people who don't know? 48 hours to the glorious return of Craig, Brenda, and Olivia Scatina.
Hey!
Because this weekend in the sack, we have our annual pork fest. And talk about
it's actually pig again.
It's a pig. We get up and start cooking in the morning, cook it all day, party all night until one of us passes out in a chair, and then, of course, we do the college thing. But anyway, that's coming up this weekend. Can't wait for the return of the Casinos. Craig, Brenda, Olivia, love you. Can't wait to pick you up at the airport in 40 hours. Talk about service. I'm going to get him in the Cool Whip. Anyway, so it is Wet My Whistle Wednesday. Hey, great first weekend of NFL action, as you recall. It was all Donniebrooks abound. Donniebrooks everywhere. Only a couple of bummers. One was my team, okay? And then the other one was that Jets. Oh, my God. I can't even laugh at the Jets anymore. They're just so pathetic. Jets, Ravens.
There was several bummers.
And no, a lot of these, we had a lot of Donnies. A lot of Donnies.
You just
Sunday.
mean in terms of.
Yeah, there was a lot of good games. With
but the Kansas City, Arizona game.
That was another one. All right, there was three.
That was a complete bummer.
You know, we're going to talk about Monday night, obviously.
The Packers?
The Packers didn't show.
Well,
not surprising, though. Right, Frank? Excuse me. Anyway, so
the bottom line is
when you have to throw it to yourself, that could be a problem because all the money went to you, Mr. Rogers. So anyway,
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah, it is. This is I Don't Disagree. IDD for those of you in the know. Segment 1, preview NFL this week. Hey, tomorrow night. Talk about another potential Donnie right out of the gate to start week 2. LA Chargers. And that bad man, Mr. Herbert, who would have been in the playoffs last year, was for his dumbass coach. And, hey, the Chiefs, whoever was pouring dirt on that grave might want to start hold off on the shovel. Because, and I know, look, we don't know how good Arizona is or isn't, but they took them out to the woodshed last Sunday. Mr. Mahomes couldn't have been better if he was wearing a cape. 360 on 39 passing, 5 touchdown passes. I think he had 11 different receivers. You know, Cheetah who? So at least for one weekend, he put a little plug in the leak on that one. But tomorrow's going to be a real test. I'll tell you, the Chargers are no joke. They are as talented in offense as anybody in this league, and they have improved their defense in the offseason. If this coach gets a clue and stops watching, trying to go for it fourth and forever, then who knows? Because the Chargers can beat anybody in this league if they play the game right, because they have that kind of talent on both sides of the ball. Chiefs are at home. Chargers won there last year in a Donnie. My thing about this is, look, I can see the Chargers beating them because I don't think the Chiefs' offense or defense is really any good. They just got the Cardinals behind so quick that whatever the Cardinals were trying to do, I mean, who the hell knows what they were trying to do. Maybe someone needed to do a little bit more homework. But anyway, we won't get into that right now. So Thursday night, tomorrow night should be a heck of a game, and it's going to be at Arrowhead. So both those teams I think a lot of people have both of them in the postseason. And they both are legit Super Bowl contenders. So this is going to be another early go. I'll tell you what, the first 2 Thursday nights, man. I know that the Rams didn't show up in the second half last week, but at least for a half, that looked like a pretty decent game. But tomorrow night
that turned out to be a bummer.
Yeah, it did. Second half, they did. I'll tell you what, the Bills had another gear. Yeah, and showed the world they have another gear, and they're a serious contender. The Rams you can't go through one guy. Cooper Kupp is not as great as he is. One guy is not beating 11. It's not going to happen. Okay, one guy can't even beat 5 in basketball. One guy can beat 11 in football. So Cooper Kupp, great player, but they got to get the rest of the weapons involved this Sunday. So anyway,
But this is cool because you've got Herbert against Mahomes, and like I almost feel like some of us still look at Mahomes as a young quarterback.
well, only by age,
But he's not.
he's not. He's had a lot,
You know,
he's had a lot
and,
of
like-
experience already.
Like Herbert is the true young one coming into
He
this
is.
game.
He is the young dog.
You know, and Mahomes is actually a vet with a Super Bowl. You know, and it's crazy that he's old. Like I know he's not old in age, but like
it seems like a
he's a
veteran
vet.
now. He seems like he's been around 10 years.
Yeah. What is it? Is it 6?
This is his fifth or sixth year. Fifth year.
Yeah.
So I mean, look,
He's had a great career.
he's had a great start to his career. And to think if Tom Brady didn't get in his way, he'd have three. He'd have 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah. That's the truth.
But the problem is, there's Tom Brady who won 3 Super Bowls out of the gate because there was no other Tom Brady getting his way. So anyway, look, the kid's not going anywhere. He appears to be now using more of his weapons. Again, the Chiefs might be a more dangerous offense, not in terms of scoring, but they might have more ways to win now because he went to all these guys right out of the bat. He didn't wait, so that's going to bode well for them, you know, later in the season. Because if he's willing to go to him now in week 1, that's a good sign if you're a Chiefs fan. He's not, you know what I mean? Good kudos to Andy Reid for saying, hey, look, man, we're going to use these guys. We've always had them, but now let's do it. They're here for a reason. And Patrick Mahomes, to his credit, hasn't fought that. He's bought into it. And, hey, they look like the Chiefs. Yeah. Like they're a top 3-4 team in this league again. Yeah. So, and
The thing is, though, I haven't watched enough Herbert to know how good he is.
No, and that's why I'm so excited because tomorrow you and I get to watch him.
Yeah. Have you watched a lot of them?
I think together we probably caught 4 games last year where he was on. Right. Like we caught a lot of games last year, but maybe 5 at the most. 4 or 5 at the most.
But I don't know that I paid attention enough to know how good.
Of course not. We were all drinking and having a good time.
Because I feel like they played the Skins last year,
and they were always on the. They did,
and he looked good.
Yeah, we caught I think 4 or 5 of his games.
But
Baltimore,
the team fizzled out, right? At the end, the coach made some bad choices.
They would go up, they would go down. Up, they go down. This was they win 3 games, they'd lose 2. They win 2, they'd lose. It was weird. They were up and down all season because the damn coach kept fucking up because he just kept going, analytics, and he was wrong every damn time. I mean, if anything, this guy fucked up the analytics for everybody else because he's the curve, right?
Well, I mean, speaking of analytics,
yes.
Can we talk about the analytics used on Monday night to kick a 64-yard field goal?
You know, everybody
on 4th and 5 with how much time left?
Everybody in America who's a football anything has had their 2 cents on this. Tom and I are going to give you 5, okay? Because we've had 3 days to stew over it. So
actually, I didn't even see it. I heard about it on the radio.
I saw
yesterday
it. And well, I'll tell you what. It's funny was I flipped over to the Eli Payton show. You should have seen Peyton Manning while this was going on. It was him. It was like 3.
Shannon
Sharp and Eli on the bottom, and the 3 of them were going, yeah, because they call a timeout. This would be a good time for timeout. Now they're good. Now Peyton to the top, and all you see is this, and he keeps doing it like 30 seconds, and oh my god, and Eli's down the bottom. Eli doesn't say boo about anything or anything. He's like, wow, really wasting a lot of time here. Might want to think about that timeout, maybe. Just you know, Eli has that tone about
30 seconds, 40
It
seconds?
went from a minute from the end of the play where to the timeout, it was 40 seconds. It went from 1:02 to 20. They never called. They wasted 40 seconds only to trot out the field team for a kick that has only been properly executed 2 out of 41 times. But the analytics say on 4th and 5 last year for the league average, 48% conversion rate. So basically, this guy took more faith in his kicker than his franchise quarterback.
So you're telling me what is 2 for 41? What percentage is that?
I'd say less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
I would say if I hold on, I have a. We're gonna do this right now.
I think you're right.
I think it's less than 5%. Hold on, I have a calculator right here. And now that you intrigued me, because we like to get things accurate.
It's like 2%.
So hold on, it's going to be
4%.
4%. So I was right, less than 5%. So if you're an analytics guy,
so how do you go with those analytics? He went with the thing that is 4% effective as opposed to 48% effective.
What he said didn't make any sense. And when I say didn't make any sense, I mean it literally didn't make any sense because, sorry, I'm thirsty. It literally didn't make any sense because
what did he say?
He said that the plan was, because I don't know what he was figuring in terms of time, but he had 3 timeouts. The goal was to get to if we could get to the 46-yard line, we can kick a 64-yarder and win this game. That was the plan. That was plan A. That wasn't plan C or D, where it should have been. That was plan A. And I don't know what plan B was because they never even thought about it. They called timeout, and here comes the kicking team. And everybody in America is going, who's kicking again? God? No, it's not God. Okay, it's not God. So who is it? Who is it? I don't know. I don't know who it is.
You were watching it?
Oh yeah, I was watching it live, and I'm going, what was this? So I'm thinking the guy that's about to kick this ball is like the chick from Necessary Roughness who boots like a 50-yarder.
It's Greg the Leg.
Yeah, Greg the Leg. Coming out here, and the thing is now, Seattle calls timeout after he kicks the first one to freeze him. He goes wide left, way left. But they blew timeout, so it didn't count. He goes wide left, but this thing was this. He could have hit it from like 70 yards. Mm. It was that high up over the goalpost. Wow. I'm like, well, all right, well, he's got the distance.
Okay.
So then I'm like, maybe this.
I hadn't heard anybody say that.
Well, no. If you saw the first kick, you're like, it's not a question of leg strength. Oh, he's got the range in terms of he can kick it that far.
So they tried to freeze him, but he went through with the kick and missed it. But it
didn't count. Right. So he got like a freebie, like a practice shot, which I thought was even worse. I'm like, all right, well, now he's got one down. Now this is going to be better. And by the way, the second one was better because the second one he literally missed by about 2 feet to the left of the goalpost.
So he had the distance?
It wasn't as far as the other one, but this one would have gone. He had the distance. And went to the
64-yard kick.
And he went about 2 feet to the left. So it was it was pretty close. I mean,
no, it's not the kicker's fault.
No.
Right, because he's got to go out there and try to kick the thing, no matter where it is. But 64 yards.
Only 2 times.
4%.
2 times in history out of that 2 kicks that far along. One was 64, one was 66. Okay? Anyway, the question is, he wasted 40 seconds.
Ridiculous.
And then after the game, he admitted that this was the plan. And Russell
Wilson said
who he lied.
Of course.
Okay. Who got out of Seattle because they wouldn't let Russ cook, didn't even try to cook. Because if you're that guy, if you're that dude, who would do this? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, guys like that. Okay. The coach ain't making this call. No.
So you're saying those guys
would have said
no.
You're not taking the kicker over the franchise. I can get you 5 yards. And if I get you 5 yards, that means this kick gets 10 or 15 yards closer. And we still have 2 timeouts. I understand calling the timeout at 101 to figure out what you want to do for a play. That makes sense. Because you still have 2 timeouts after that if you get the first down. Okay? But if you don't get it, then who's going to sit there and go, well, if he tried it, it's a 64-yarder. There's like a less than 5%. Of course you go for it. No one would have criticized him for going for it on 4th down. No one. Okay? They were like, you got a better shot. And that was before anybody looked at the numbers and knew what the actual numbers were. Then they were like, what the hell are you doing? And that's why he got crucified the last 48 hours. I mean, dude, they had top 5 lists of the 5 dumbest things they saw. And I think they put it together just so this could be number 1. Because the 2 of them, like 3 and 4, 4, 5, like, that's not that stupid. Okay, 1 and 2, okay, they were dumb. But the 1 was clearly way ahead of 2, and everybody knows why. But I swear some of these lists got made up. Hey, here's segment this week.
So can we just say he's the Dunce of the week? He's not the Dunce of the week?
The Dunce? I wish we had like a cap.
He's Dunce.
We could put the cap on, like with a Dunce cap. Yeah, he's that dude. He's the guy writing 1,000 times on the chalkboard, I will go for it on 4th and 5. I will go for it on 4th and 5. He's that kid.
Right Attention?
Now. Yeah. That's how bad
You're saying he's an after-school detective.
That's what he is. He's writing 100 times on the chalkboard. I will go for it on 4th and 5. I will go for it on 4th and 5. I will go for it. I will not pull out the kicker. I will not run out the kicker. I will not run out like, seriously, because that's how stupid it was. Like,
so you think he got a detention slip from the owner? And he's like, hey,
if I were the owner,
going to stay here for the rest of the week with that whiteboard. And you're going to keep writing that all day.
If I was the owner.
Would you make him do that?
What I would have done, I would have said, all right, no one's going to know about this. I'm I'm going to keep it quiet between you and me. You ain't getting your game check this week.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm saying that's what I would.
I'm sure HR would allow that.
HR?
Yeah,
HR would have been like, yeah, we'll allow it.
No,
we saw the play.
HR
we saw
fire
for
that.
Well, for that the last 2 minutes? Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Okay, we'll allow it. And by the way, he's the owner. HR ain't going to fire the owner. The owner will fire HR. Okay, so knock it off.
It's not that HR can fire the owner. HR would advise the owner, you can get sued for shit like that.
Really?
And therefore, the owner would not be able to do it.
What do I pay the guy to do, win or lose? I pay him to win.
No, you pay him to play.
He lost. No, the coach I pay to win. The coach I pay to win.
You pay him to
the
coach.
The coach is not there.
You pay him to coach.
Yeah, to win. Yeah, I'm docking the coach's pay. I'm saying you are not getting.
You can't do that.
Why can't I? I'm the owner.
Do you really think owners are allowed to do that?
Yes, I think they could. I just don't think they do.
They're not allowed.
Said by who? Says who?
It says labor laws. You
can
can't take
clearly
someone's pay for performance.
Why not? You're paying them based on their performance.
No, you're paying them to be a member of your team and do the job you ask them to do. If they don't do it up to par, you can fire them.
I would take the whole paycheck. I would fight it in court, and I would have all the evidence.
That's a joke.
I would. No, it's not
a joke.
The coach is a joke.
No.
Yes, he was a joke.
Obviously, that decision he made was awful, but you can't dock his check.
I think you can. Oh my God. And more importantly, I think you should.
I understand that right now you're not being serious.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you right now. If you were a fan of that team, what would you want done to him?
No.
If you say that happened to the Giants,
it's not about what you want done to him.
I'm saying
you're saying this is what you would do.
The guy makes $10 million a year.
Legally,
the guy makes $10 million a year. One paycheck is not going to bury him.
No way, makes $10 million a year.
Belichick does. Over $10 million.
We're not talking about Belichick.
Other coaches do too. Tomlin.
We're not talking about them.
Well, I'm saying he makes a lot of money.
What's this guy's name?
Doofus.
Dunce.
Dudley Do Wrong. He's the Dudley Do.
Who is he the coach of again? I totally forgot.
Oh my God. The Denver Broncos.
Okay. What?
Dock his pay.
No, I'm looking up his salary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so, well, he does make $4 million. You could dock a couple $100,000. He'll live. He'll live. Because he would live.
What's this guy's name?
Dunsky.
Wonsky?
Archibald Barisal.
All right, what team are we looking at again?
I don't know.
Denver. Gary Kubiak?
Is he the head coach for Denver?
No way. No, this is old.
No. How do you have the old one? If you go to a roster, the coach will be somewhere on our coaching staff, like on their football page. It'll tell you who the coach is. Now, have a picture of his ugly mug.
If I go where?
So the Denver Broncos. If you go to ESPN, just go to pick a team.
They're not going to show me the salary.
They might. Oh, then you got to Google. How did Google not give you?
Somehow it gave me some old thing. Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, Hackett. Fitting name, I think. Should change his name to Huckett. Like huck him. Get him out of here. Huckett. Like you shoot when you throw it. Huckett. Just huck it out. Huckett. Rhymes with fuck it.
I don't know that I've ever used the word huck it. Just huck that thing on at it. Get on it. Huck it.
Huck it.
Boy, huck it.
Huck that thing.
You're right. $4 million.
Yeah. So what's 200,000?
Dude, all I'm saying is you can't legally do that.
Fuck legally.
Oh, please.
I'm a billionaire.
You're so dumb.
I'm a billionaire. I can buy my way out of anything.
You're a billionaire.
If I was the owner of that team, I'd be a billionaire, wouldn't I? No. I can buy my way out of anything. And by the way, they have. Okay, so that's not a stretch, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that's true.
They have many times over. There's a guy in the NBA who should be thrown out of the league forever, ever, for the racial comments he made in his office. He gets a 1-year suspension, a $10 million fine. You know why? He's a billionaire. There's a club in this country, people.
Okay, so you want to be that big douchebag?
No, I just want to be that rich.
All right, we're 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Chargers, Chiefs, tomorrow.
Who do you like? Who do you like?
I like the Chiefs.
Okay. I like the Chiefs too because they're at home.
Yeah.
But plus, the Chargers beat them there last year. This is the other
I
problem.
don't trust
can't-
the Chargers.
I can't see the Chargers going to beat them 2 years in a row in Arrowhead. I could see one, but 2 in a row?
Yeah, I don't trust
I
the
don't know about
Chargers, not because I
Well,
really know anything.
the coach.
It's because I don't see them a lot.
Well, the other thing is the coach is liable to pull some analytic out of his ass.
but that's not
to
why
go
I don't
for
like
a
the
fourth and
Chargers.
forever.
I don't like the Chargers
See,
just
the
because
Chargers
I
coach-
don't watch them enough
The Chargers coach,
to believe in them.
the Chargers coach is the kind of coach that would go for it on fourth down for like a chip shot kick. You could get 3 points, but no, let's go for the 7, even though it's like 4th and 12. Versus if he's 60 yards back, now he'll try and kick it as opposed to going for it. So he's that dude. He does everything backwards. That's why I give the Chiefs the edge and the coaching advantage as well. Obviously, they're at home, and plus the Chargers beat them there last year. And the Chiefs, look, no one knew what the Chargers were last year, but they know now. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to sleep on them tomorrow. I think the Chiefs kind of looked past them. Didn't think they were that good. Didn't know anything about. Yeah, because nobody knew who Herbert was yet. He was up and coming, looked good, but no one knew what he was going to be. He threw for 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns. The only guy that bested him was Brady in those numbers. 5,038. And Brady was 5,343. He's the only guy that bested him in both categories. So the bottom line is, the kid, and he's in his second year. Give me a break. So, look, but Patrick Mahomes is not going to look past him, and I don't think the coach is either. So, and their coach is unpredictable. So I give the Chiefs the edge tomorrow. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. This is going to be a one-score game.
Hope so.
I think it is. Look, the only thing that's going to make this a blowout
it's a good game.
is going to be turnovers. But here's the thing: both these offenses can score so fast from anywhere on the field. This could be a 51-48 game. It could be. Yeah. It really could be. Because I don't think either defense could stop the other team's offense or even contain it.
I thought the Chargers' defense is supposed to be good.
Well, it wasn't. Held the Raiders to 19 points.
All right,
The Raiders, so they could, I'm just saying.
Maybe the Chargers' defense will do a little.
Maybe they will. They held the Raiders who didn't, well, again, but they forced these turnovers. Carr had like 2 or 3 picks.
Yeah. But Derek Carr, I'll take Cincy's, not Cincy, Kansas City's offense over the Raiders' offense because of Mahomes.
Well, he's a better,
because of
better,
Mahomes. Yeah. Like, I think there are some major weapons
Devontae Adams
on the Raiders.
Adams got his.
Adams, Waller, Jacobs.
Yeah. Renfro.
They have a good offense.
Renfro, they are loaded.
But I think Patrick Mahomes is that much better than Derek Carr that his offense is better.
You know that before Derek Carr got injured that year, he was a leading candidate for MVP.
Without a doubt.
He was having that
But
good
he's
of a year.
never had a year like that since.
Well, it's only been 2 years. He was hurt. He missed all of a year. Then he came back.
And he's played a couple since he came back.
It was 2 years ago they got hurt.
I feel like he's played a couple.
He missed the rest of that season, and then he came back, and he was like year one, so he was like not quite 100%. And last year was his second year out of that, and they made the playoffs. And that was with Gruden and all that crap going on. They still made the playoffs.
So what year was it that he got hurt?
It was 3 years ago now, so 2020 or 2019, I believe. And he missed. It was during the season. He got hurt. He missed the rest of that season, and he came back the next year. But it was a serious injury. And
did he start the year?
I believe he did, and he struggled for a good part of that year. I think he was better in the second half of the season than the first half. And then last year they made the playoffs. He had a good year.
So he didn't miss a year?
No, because he missed the rest of that season.
Right, but it was at the very end.
No, there was like game 11. He missed like the last 5 weeks of the season. But up until then, he was one of the top 3.
2018?
Is 18 or 9? Maybe it was the 2018-2019 season. It starts in 2018 and finishes in 2019.
He's played 4 seasons since then.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was 2018, because 2019, 2020.
Well, I don't know. It was either 20. It was either 19.
Well, this is his 4th season.
It was either the 20. It was either the 19-20 season or the 2021 or the 19-19 season. One of those two.
It was the year they made the playoffs, right?
They made the playoffs last year. They didn't make the playoffs because he got hurt and missed the rest of that season. Or they probably would have made the playoffs. They were in contention. Yeah. And then the next year he was so because of the injury. And then last year, which I thought was the second year of it, he was better. So he's coming into his 3rd year out of it this year. Yeah. But the bottom line is now he has Devontae Adams, who he's never had a guy like that. He is arguably the best receiver in football. It's him and it's Cooper Kupp. And then who's the dude from Minnesota? Jefferson. He's a stud too. So you got 3 of them. And then the cheat is probably 4. But anyway, so the thing about tomorrow night is, at least from one game, it looks like the Chiefs rather have a multitude of ways to beat you, and they're not afraid to do it, which is very important because now the Chargers have to cover the whole field. The more weapons you have, the more the field you have to defend. So while the cheetah takes away the over-the-top thing, they've got other weapons that do other things well. They being the Chiefs. So the Chargers have probably as many weapons, but Keenan Allen's probably not going to play. That's going to hurt. He's out because he hurt himself. So they're going to be down one of their studs. So they're going to be missing a key guy, and that coach to me is a question mark until he proves otherwise. I'll take Andy Reid over him every day of the week. I don't think anybody would disagree with me in the coaching matchup. So I got the Chiefs winning this game by a touchdown, but it's going to be 45, 38, something like that. Maybe. So unless the Chargers D, if the Chargers D is as good as it looked last week, then maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a 27-24. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're trying to figure out what's the food we're going to do tomorrow. Did we decide the food? We had to have two things, right?
Talking about French dip.
What's the name of the sandwich though?
French dip.
The French dip. So the sandwich but it's a roast beef sandwich.
It's a roast beef sandwich.
What's in that sandwich?
Roast beef, onions. You can put cheese on it.
Is there cheese in it?
And then you're supposed to dip it in
this au jus sauce, right?
Yeah.
Is it heated? Do you heat the au jus sauce up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's onions in it.
See, that sounds succulent. Yeah. That sounds really good.
Very good.
Very good. Very greasy. So anyway, so that's going to be tomorrow night. We're going to finish off this segment with, before we go to the segment, take our first break, every week we're going to do this for the NFL season. We're going to have we're going to have a coach of the week. We're going to have an offensive and defensive player of the week. Okay. And then we're going to have, Beethoven's bum of the week. Beethoven. You got a better one? I don't know. Al Bundy's bum of the week? Al Bundy's bum of the week?
No.
The Bundy bum of the week?
No.
That actually, how about the Al Bundy of the week?
No.
It's going to be.
It hasn't come through.
It doesn't ring
true? It hasn't come through yet.
No.
All right, so are we going to
so
say it now?
Yeah, we'll do the good ones now. We'll figure out the name of them.
All right, so I'm doing coach of the week.
You got to pick coach? All right, so who do you think?
Brian Daboll.
Absolutely.
For the New York Giants.
You know what's funny? Mad Dog killed him for going for it on two because Mad Dog had. I'll tell you what, Mad Dog was on an island that didn't even have Wilson on it on this one. Okay, there was no talking volleyball. There was no. He was not one person agreed with him. And
why would you? I mean, we already talked about it. The fact that new coach in New York City, even though they play in Jersey, going for it in that spot in his first game. If he doesn't get that,
but it tells his team something.
Exactly.
He believes in him.
If he doesn't get that, he's going to get crushed.
He would have, but you know what?
In the face of that,
I don't think the team would have. I think his players would have backed him.
I know, but I'm saying but to just not give a fuck enough to do that, knowing it's the right thing. That's why I give him coach of the week.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best coach ever.
No.
But he made a great decision.
No.
And he could be.
Hey, his playbook was. His offense ended up doing very well. His quarterback was 17 for 21. That running back showed up.
It took him a half to get going.
But he got going. It doesn't matter. So they were on the road playing a good defense. That was an AFC contender last year. Yeah.
So do we agree that's coach of the week?
Absolutely. I don't even know who the second guy would be.
All right. So performance of the week.
Offensive performance.
Offensive performance of the week.
Yeah, I've got I kind of have a tie. Can you have a tie?
Well, let me hear your couple. Because I have one, but it's biased.
Well, he's the other one.
Saquon?
He's the other one. So my thing, it's three of them.
Okay, say it.
And you got to think about the competition too. So I got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and him. Those three guys to me, and then the kid from Minnesota is a fourth.
Jefferson?
Yeah. Those in that order. To me, it was Mahomes and Allen if you had to split them. And then Saquon right there, and then Jefferson. Those to me were the top four. Yeah. All the four of them. And this is the thing. You couldn't go wrong with any one of them. I would agree with you on every one of them. If you said,
I feel like there might have been a couple more, too, that had some crazy numbers.
There were. Yeah, there were. What's his name? Well, there were. Devontae Adams had a heck of a game for the Raiders and a loss. He was great. What's his name there? Who's the guy I'm thinking of? Lamar Jackson, although it was against the Jets, but he had a great 3 touchdown passes. Yeah. He had a good, and he ran for whatever it was, 60 or so. He had a very good performance.
All right, so if you had to choose now, performance of the week, go. Offensive.
I would go with Mahomes.
Okay.
Slightly over Saquon. It'd be Mahomes, Saquon, and then Josh Allen.
I'll go Saquon.
Fair enough.
Okay, now we do defensive
Player of the
performance
week.
of the
Now,
week.
this is interesting. And it might even, to me, it's almost an entire unit. But, you know, if you're going to go individually, TJ Watt, before he got hurt, was having a ridiculous game against Cincinnati. He was a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, but he got hurt. But when he was in there, woo! I mean, yeah, that kid. And the thing is, they went and got all these
Cincinnati couldn't do anything.
They couldn't. They went and upgraded that offensive line. The thing is they were a top 5 front unit until he got hurt last year. So it's not like this wasn't a scrub. This was maybe the best defensive player in the league doing it to him. This side of Aaron Donald, and so there's no shame in that. But
I can't call out a single defender though.
Other than him, no, he's the one that stands out.
But he only played what?
He played 3 quarters. No, he was in the. It was the third quarter that he got hurt. Second half. Him, and then as a unit, it would be the Buffalo Bills or the Tampa Bay Bucks. Buffalo to me was playing a better offense than Dallas. So I would say Buffalo and then Tampa Bay. Though Tampa Bay, I mean, Dallas was the one team that didn't score touchdowns. Tampa Bay was and Dak. They
were saying that was the first time that they didn't score a touchdown in their opening game since like
Troy Aikman's rookie year.
That's terrible.
In 1989, and they were 1-15 that year. His first year, Jimmy Johnson's first year, and then the rest they had the dynasty. But they didn't have everybody. It just had Aikman, then they got Smith and Irvin, and then they took off. But that's been since then that the Cowboys have not scored a touchdown in the opening game. So, yeah, to me, it's Buffalo because they were in LA and did that to the champs. Them. And then Tampa Bay is a very close second because that Dallas offense is still high powered. They made it look like mincemeat. They made it look like it looked worse.
It looked like it had nothing.
It looked like the Patriots offense. We'll have a little segment at the end on that. I got a rant for him.
So who was your surprise of the week?
That's a good one. You know
Either
what?
way, it could be
the surprise of the week was
or...
Saquon Barkley. I haven't seen him do that in 4 years. Not that I think he'd have the capability, but until you see it, you don't believe it's going to happen. Especially when there's really no track record, except for a few blips where it looked like he had potential. I mean, have we really seen his best? His rookie year, he was solid, right? But he didn't play the whole. How far did he get this?
His rookie year he was really good.
Yeah, he was really good, but that was it. He wasn't healthy since. So he had 1 year really good when he was healthy, but now this is the first time ever he's fully healthy. Oh, we've heard this shit before. Okay, and then he actually did. That would be my surprise.
Yeah, I mean, my only other, I guess that's got to be the surprise. Maybe the other one could be like the Vikings stomping the Packers.
That was not a surprise.
I know that wasn't a surprise.
I picked that game, and I said they were going to do that to him.
No. My surprise of the week was actually, just so that I can get off the Giants game, was the Patriots.
That was your surprise.
I
told you they were going to lose.
I know, I just didn't expect it.
They're 2. We talked about this last week before the game.
They were good last year.
No, but in their last 9 games down there, they were 2-7.
Right,
and 8 of those games had Brady in them.
I know, but that's why I hate that stat because it's not the same team.
No, it's worse. Maybe? I've got 6 Super Bowls to say otherwise.
No, but I'm saying like there's got to be something like.
I'll give you one. I'll give you a surprise. Okay, and this to me is a good one. And it was in a loss. Detroit went toe-to-toe with Philly. Literally went toe-to-toe.
That was not a surprise.
That to me it was.
Not to me.
Well, did you see them last year?
I watched Hard Knocks.
I've seen 4 of those episodes. By the way, he's not lying. Very good show.
Right?
It's just good, but that does not tell me they're gonna hang with Philly.
No, but I mean, a lot of people have trying to change the culture. Though.
No, and he's doing it.
You know what? One thing I hated though, if you don't mind me tangenting.
What? No, please.
We haven't done enough tangenting this episode. Really you've been talking too much. We need a tangent.
Would that not be a tangent? Would that not be a tangent?
No, we need to tangent together.
Oh,
you can't talk the whole time.
I'm sorry.
So,
well, you're still mad at the Mets.
That's true. I know, but you have to allow me therapy of talk.
Well, I have to pick up the slack till you go therapy to get there.
You're just talking to the camera. I'm right here. You can ask me questions. You can,
Okay.
So, what do you think about this?
What do you think about that?
Okay, but the thing I was going to say about Hard Knocks, that coach, one thing I did not like, when they cut someone, he's the type of person, like when he's firing someone, to almost take pity on himself so the other person feels bad for him.
What?
Yeah. So like he would call
So
the
wait,
guys.
give me what happened?
So he calls the guys in,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, "Man, I fucking hate it, man. I fucking hate this." He's like, "You know how hard this is? Like, you've been here. You put in the work. You did everything you were supposed to do, and that's why I hate this so much, man. But you're gonna catch on somewhere, man. Thank you. We appreciate all you do." And then like,
what's he supposed to say?
don't try to make the person feel bad for you.
What? Okay.
You're telling this guy you don't have a job, and you're talking about how hard it is for you to make that decision. No, man. Be a man and tell him, hey, you know, you didn't make the cut. There was a couple things we saw, you know, in practice that we didn't like. There was a couple things in the game that kind of, you know, just held you back. You didn't make enough plays for us to bring you onto the team. We appreciate your hard work. And maybe we'll see you again next summer.
Well, all right, let me ask you a question. How many guys did he pull in his office? Was just one example or a couple?
No,
guys?
this happened like 10 straight times in a row.
Every week he pulled a different guy in?
No, this was they really only showed it at the final cut.
They showed all of them, though?
Not every single one of them, but
more than one.
It was like 10. And he did that act with all of them.
I'm saying he did that with every single one.
Yes, and I just didn't like it because it's kind of like...
Because maybe there's one guy that he really
sure,
did,
exactly,
but there could have been 8 others that were... Yeah,
but also, I just think it sucks when you tell someone no and don't tell them the real why. You know? So I'm a recruiter. So a lot of times I have to tell someone, hey, you didn't get the job.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels so much better when I tell them, hey, you didn't get the job because. You know?
Yeah.
And that way they can improve. You know, and also it's like I don't know. I mean, I just think there are some times where like where I work, we're not supposed to give feedback to somebody who doesn't work for the company. So if like an internal person is going for a job,
that's one
I'm allowed
thing.
to give them
that's
feedback.
one thing, yeah.
Somebody externally, I can't. And I hate those moments because you built a relationship with somebody and then you have to call and say, hey, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
But I can't really tell you why. You know?
Yeah, that is weird.
But this guy...
Why can you, in the office you can? I don't remember. Well, again, I had free reign with what I was doing, so I could hire whoever I wanted. No one was going to stop me. There was nobody down here to care. So
this is when you say no to somebody, like policy-wise, you're not supposed to give them feedback. I think because there's risk there. If you say the wrong thing, the person could try to sue or something.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like if somebody wants to audit us for the notes, they can. You know, but we're not just going to volunteer that stuff. So I don't know. Just watching him fire all those guys and act like it was so hard on him, and almost, you know, make that.
So you're saying he's not genuine?
That didn't seem genuine to me.
But the rest of everything he did?
I liked it, yeah. That was the one time I was kind of like, that's kind of weak, man. And he positioned him, you know, he was showing strength the entire time.
I haven't seen this yet, but I'm sure as I keep watching, I'll start. I mean, how many episodes were there?
It's episode 5.
Okay, I've only seen the first 4.
Yeah,
that would
watch
explain
it after this.
Okay, that would explain that. All right, so I'll watch it for myself.
I'm sorry, I should have brought this up 2 weeks ago when I watched it.
No, but you didn't. I mean, but I mean that's relative. This, you know, I get it. There are things Belichick does that I don't like.
Right.
Obviously, that's make you know like, and even though there are times when I agree with what he's doing, there are times like you know where I'm like, why did you do that in that scenario? Sometimes he overthinks it, and sometimes the simple answer is the right one. It's not always complicated, and I think he outthinks himself sometimes. And he's not the only one that does this. By the way, there are people do this everywhere. You know, you're overthinking. I've overthought things. Everybody, I'm human. Everybody does it.
Yeah, but sometimes a guy like Belichick is so smart that it's like he tries to be too smart.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, dude,
sometimes
you're smart enough.
Sometimes you have the better team.
Yeah.
You don't got to get complicated. Sometimes you can line up and you are better. The Patriots that repeated, the last team to do it, the 0-3, those two, that team could just line up and whip your ass, and they didn't have to overcomplicate it. They could whip your ass, and they could do it in any way they wanted. That the team that the last team that's funny, they're the last team to repeat. They could win in any fashion, and when they had to put their foot on your throat, it didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter who. They didn't care. It didn't matter, and they never said nothing. They were like that kid. It's always the quiet ones. They were that team that says nothing all week, and they come out on Sunday, and all of a sudden it's like, somebody stop this. I mean, they were that team, and they used everything you said against you in the court of law. Every single thing that you said wrong, it came up on that field on that day, and they shoved it right up your ass. And that 03-04, that 2 years, that was the best Patriots team I ever saw in my lifetime. One of the best ever inherited. They were 14-2 both years. Their defense gave up 13 points a game and 14 points a game, and their offense was number 2 in the league both years. They were phenomenal. And in the 4 games they lost, just stupid weird shit happened.
All right, enough of these glory days.
Anyway,
with your fucking Patriots.
No, my point is that he would overthink it, and he did it then too.
Okay, puke job of the week.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll give you mine.
Probably everybody's.
Colts Texans.
Oh, the choke job.
Puke job.
Puke. The puke.
It was sickening.
Yeah. Anybody? Well, I had him too. I'm as mad as you.
I mean, ending a tie.
How do you? Yeah. I mean, look.
Indy.
Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead, who many people thought was going to retire. Okay. Whipped the Indianapolis Colts defense. Rex Burkhead. He's not going to be on serial.
Wasn't somebody? Were we talking about him on Fantasy Football Draft Night?
That somebody had actually drafted him.
Right.
Yeah, late.
Right? Weren't you like?
He was on. Actually, my brother got him on. He sat on his bench. He got 17 points, and he's like, "How the hell did he get 17 points?" He was projected to get like 6.
Would that be your puke job of the week, or did you have?
Well, that's right there. I mean,
Bengals had a pretty bad puke job.
That's the other one.
That was a. I mean,
but the Steelers were a playoff team.
Joe Barrow.
The Steelers were a playoff team.
Barrow.
I know. Burrow. Joe Barrow.
One of the guys in on the New York radio used to call him that.
I mean,
Joe Barrow.
He was 5 turnovers.
That's terrible.
Basically him. 3 picks, a fumble. I mean, Jesus. I mean, Pittsburgh. But again, the Steelers, when they're healthy, man, that defense.
Dude, okay.
I mean,
so
I don't know.
That was another surprise.
It was
to
a surprise.
Mitch Trubisky.
But he was
decent.
He was.
That was a surprise.
He took 2 teams to the playoffs. He had a bad coach.
You've been trying to tell me this, but that was a surprise.
You and I would both agree. Mike Tomlin is a top 5 coach in this league. Is that fair to say? All right.
Well,
he had a bottom 5 coach. Twice. Okay? He had 2.
I don't even know who was
Mitch Trubisky took 2 different coach teams.
Adam Gase?
I don't remember whether they're so bad. They stink. If you look them up, neither one of them's head coach right now. And the bottom line is he took 2 dunce cap coaches to the playoffs. Dunskies. Okay? Now you hand him a top 5 coach and a defense like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tomlin's a defensive coach, isn't he?
I believe he is. But the point is,
I get what you're saying.
The point is, he's a top 5 coach in this league.
He knows how to run it.
Yeah, he knows how to from the top to bottom. He coaches all 3 levels, and that's
boom. Bang,
so.
bang,
I mean,
boom.
Trubisky actually has a competent head coach. Look what he can do.
Right.
I mean, look at your boy that you want, Danny Dimes. You can bash him for the one bad throw, okay, but he was 17 for 21. It was a bad throw. It wasn't the worst throw I've seen him make.
I like when Dayball got in his face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Dayball said, look, he straightened him out. He coached him up, and he went out here and he played well the rest of the game.
Coached him up.
Yeah, well, that's what a coach's job is to do.
Coach him on, right?
And he does that. He did that. At least for one Sunday, the Giants, for the first time since Coughlin, looked like they had a coach.
That's true.
So, and if they have a coach, and that running back stays healthy, I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on them. The NFC is not strong.
I'm not getting my hopes up.
I'm saying there's a couple of ifs there. But they're not big ifs. Well, the running back one is a big if.
We need to start segment 2 because I need to get the Mets off my chest.
You do?
Yeah.
Anyway,
pathetic.
So you had the dunce of the week, by the way.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
That's the no-brainer of the week.
We already said
Literally, there was no brain in there involved in that sequence. That's the no-brainer of the week.
4th and 5.
Nope. 4th and 5. Nope. Russell Wilson, first ballot Hall.
We're not going for it.
Who needs a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Who did we just trade for?
Tom, let me ask you a question. Who needs a Hall of Fame quarterback when you have a no-name kicker?
That's right.
Who needs him?
Who can kick 70 yards?
Who can kick 70 yards? Maybe not straight.
He can miss it from 75.
He can miss it from 75. Oh, he can really miss it from 75. That's nothing. You should see him back at 80. Anyway.
That's terrible.
Anyway.
All right, so let's go to segment 2.
We're going to come back to segment 2 in a minute. Talk baseball. My man has to vent. Oh, does he ever have to vent? And if you saw who they've been playing, you understand. So
and how they've been
playing. So we're going to take a quick break. grab a drink real quick, get it, wet my whistle Wednesday. The week is over. Tomorrow's Thirsty Thursday, people. We're on the home stretch here. So get that frosty beverage. We'll see you on the other side.